Millions of years ago, long before the first humans set foot on Earth, the oceans were a theater of unimaginable creatures. The warm, shallow seas of the Late Cretaceous stretched across continents, shimmering under an alien sun. In those waters, evolution was shaping a predator that would one day dominate the seas. The mighty The roots of its story did not begin in the depths of the ocean, but on the land. Its ancestors were lizard, like reptiles close kin to today's monitor lizards. These creatures crept across the primeval landscapes, their scales glinting beneath the sun, hunting insects, small vertebrates, and anything they could overpower, drawn by the abundance of life along the shorelines. Some ventured into the shallows. At first, their forays into the water were brief, quick lunges at fish darting near the surface. But over generations, these reptiles spent more time in the water, their survival increasingly tied to the sea. Evolution sculpted their bodies. Limbs became stronger for swimming, and tails flattened into rudders. Their lungs developed the capacity for longer dives, allowing them to remain submerged and ambush prey below the waves. Slowly, the boundary between land and sea blurred, until the ocean became their true home. These shoreline hunters transformed into the earliest Mosasaurus. They retained the reptilian essence of their ancestors, but abandoned the land entirely. No longer tied to sandy beaches, they ruled the shallows and reefs, their bodies sleek and sinuous, built for pursuit and surprise. Unlike dinosaurs, which towered over forests and plains, mosasaurs claimed the oceans as their kingdom. Their elongated bodies sliced through the water, propelled by tails that lashed like whips. With every stroke, they covered vast distances, patrolling their liquid empire with effortless grace. Their jaws became their most fearsome weapon. Double-hinged and studded with rows of sharp teeth, they could snap shut with bone-crushing force. Like modern snakes, they could open wide, swallowing prey nearly whole. Few marine creatures could escape once trapped between those deadly jaws. In their early forms, mosasaurs were modest in size, smaller than the giant ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs that had ruled the seas before them. But the ocean is a battlefield of giants, and to compete, they grew larger. Evolution rewarded those that reached greater lengths, expanding their dominance over rivals. Over millennia, their species diversified. Some remained only a few meters long, agile hunters of reefs and shallow bays. Others, like Mosasaurus hoffmanni, stretched into titans more than 15 meters long, comparable in size to a modern humpback whale. With appetites just as massive, their senses sharpened with each generation. Eyes adapted to dim twilight waters, enabling them to hunt in deeper seas. Their inner ears tuned to vibrations, detecting movements of prey and rivals across the currents. Combined with immense lung capacity, they could remain concealed until the perfect moment to strike. Unlike sharks, which relied on speed and brute force, mosasaurs hunted with calculated precision. They were ambush predators, lurking near underwater cliffs, reefs, or beneath schools of fish. With a sudden burst of power, they would surge upward, jaws wide, and clamp down with devastating efficiency. Their menu was as varied as the ocean itself. Ammonites with coiled shells, armored turtles, seabirds diving for fish. Even other mosasaurs all fell victim to their hunger. Fossilized stomach remains confirmed their taste for diverse prey, painting a picture of an apex predator with limitless ambition. Evolution sculpted them into masterpieces of marine engineering. Their limbs became fully transformed into flippers, sacrificing claws and digits for paddle. Like strength, though incapable of ever returning to land, this adaptation gave them unmatched maneuverability in the water. Their tails evolved further, ending in crescent-shaped fins, much like modern sharks. This structure generated bursts of acceleration, propelling them forward at terrifying speeds. A mosasaur could close the distance on a fleeing fish or an unfortunate marine reptile within seconds. 15. Their skulls revealed even more evolutionary genius. With flexible jaw joints, they could consume prey larger than their own heads. Entire animals disappeared into their throats, swallowed whole in scenes of raw prehistoric power, leaving little behind but fragments drifting through the currents as their size, speed, and hunting skills advanced. Mosasaurs reshaped the oceans themselves, Rivals such as plesiosaurs dwindled, unable to withstand the relentless pressure of competition. Within a few million years, the mosasaurs were not just predators, they were the undisputed rulers of the seas. Their family ties reveal a remarkable truth. Mosasaurs were not dinosaurs at all, but more closely related to today's snakes and monitor lizards. The coils of a python and the stare of a Komodo dragon still whisper the legacy of these ancient marine lords. Imagine the ocean of the Late Cretaceous. Turquoise shallows over coral reefs, endless mid-ocean depths, and coastlines swarming with life. Above, pterosaurs skimmed the surface. Below, Mosasaurus lurked a shadow of death waiting in silence. The ecosystem pulsed with life, yet all feared the predator hiding in its heart. The power of a single bite was legendary. A full-grown Mosasaurus could crush the shell of a giant turtle with ease, the sound echoing like thunder beneath the waves. Two smaller creatures, its strike meant instant oblivion. Jaws snapping shut like a living trap, they hunted in diverse environments: reefs, bays, open seas. Some fossil evidence suggests that they may have even hunted in packs, or at least gathered in numbers where food was abundant, magnifying their reign of terror. Rapid growth was another of their secrets. Young mosasaurs grew quickly, reaching maturity faster than many rivals. This meant they entered the food chain as formidable hunters within a short span of years, securing their survival in the brutal evolutionary arms race. Their reach was astonishing. Fossil discoveries from Europe, North America, Africa, South America, and Asia proved their global dominance. Wherever seas stretched, mosasaurs swam, true citizens of a worldwide oceanic empire. At their peak, Mosasaurus was a living paradox, sleek, yet monstrous, graceful, yet brutal, with bodies larger than modern orcas, agility sharper than crocodiles, and intelligence honed by instinct. They represented nature's attempt at creating the perfect marine predator. But their reign was not eternal. 66 million years ago, disaster struck. An asteroid the size of a mountain slammed into Earth, unleashing chaos. The skies darkened, temperatures plummeted, and ecosystems collapsed in the blink of geological time. The oceans turned into graveyards. Plankton populations, the foundation of marine food chains, dwindled. Prey vanished. The colossal appetites of Mosasaurus became their downfall, as they could not sustain themselves in the starving seas. Species by species, they disappeared. What had once been an empire of marine reptiles ended in silence, their bones sinking to the seafloor where they would remain hidden for millions of years. Yet extinction was not the end of their story. In the 18th century, in the Netherlands, near the River Meuse, fossilized remains were unearthed. These bones sparked debate among scholars, becoming one of the first great paleontological discoveries of the modern age. Today, those fossils tell the tale of evolution's grandeur. They reveal how a humble land reptile transformed into a leviathan of the seas. Every tooth and vertebra is a reminder of nature's power to shape life into extraordinary forms. The legacy of Mosasaurus continues in our imagination. From museum exhibits to cinematic portrayals, it remains a symbol of prehistoric majesty. When people think of the oceans of the past, they think of the monstrous silhouette of Mosasaurus rising from the deep. From shoreline lizards to the tyrants of the sea, the Mosasaurus story is one of nature's most breathtaking arcs. Their rise and fall echo the eternal truth of evolution, that life is always adapting, always striving, and always vulnerable to the forces of change.